diving into the dynamic intersection of technology, finance, and the world of sports.
Most of the people's attention is on professional sports, and that's clear. It's where the streamings are, the videos, the big events.
Your entrepreneurial journey is quite diverse to discuss that, and Linksports stems from a deep personal connection to football.
So these ideas, Kripa, don't come from the people in the industry because they are usually happy and making money with the way things are. It has to be some outsider that approaches that and says, what if instead of having millions of people just giving away, they start getting something from sports?
Hi, this is Kripa Anand, and welcome to the CanadianSME Small Business Podcast, where we explore the strategic insights and innovative ventures shaping Canada's economy and communities. Today, we are diving into the dynamic intersection of technology, finance, and the world of sports. In a rapidly evolving landscape, leveraging cutting edge fintech solutions to support grassroots initiatives and prepare for major global events like the FIFA World Cup 2026 presents unique opportunities for Canadian businesses. Joining us today is Neissan Monadjem, founder and CEO of Linksports. Neissan is a Canadian born in Brazil with extensive business strategy expertise in 3 previously founded fintechs. He's an awarded IT innovator with successful products and patents in cybersecurity and mobile payment systems. Linksports' his current venture combines micropayments with sports content, enabling fan investments and inspiring players. Neissan also teaches entrepreneurship and fintech at Seneca Polytechnic. So before further ado, let's welcome him. Neissan, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you, Kripa. I'm doing fine and enjoying summer.
As all of us are, I'm very excited for this conversation today, Neissan. Let's start by understanding, how did you come up with this idea of Linksports? Where did this story start from?
Well, I was always aware that football is something that is linked to passion.
Mhm.
And my perception was that most of the people have a dream to become a professional sports player. And they would love to imagine themselves when
Right.
they're young as a professional. But then I realized that a very small particle of 0.05% of them become sports professionals.
Right.
And most of them just give away their money for their dream.
Yeah.
So I decided there must be a way that they receive to pursue their dream. And then I followed the idea of creating Linksports.
Wow, that's very unique. And Linksports is deeply involved in amateur and grassroots sports, right? So please go ahead and explain to our listeners, why is supporting grassroots sports in Canada important for athletic development, building resilience, and also community building and fostering a stronger social fabric?
It's a great question because most of the people's attention is on professional sports. And that's clear. It's where the streamings are, the videos, the big events,
Right.
and mostly the famous players, right? So this celebrity thing attracts millions of people. So that's where the money is. But we should remember that the educational standards that you can develop
Mm-hmm.
by ingraining sports in the education of children have a massive power that has been obliterated because everybody's just thinking about the big stars, the guys that make millions of dollars a month.
Right.
So we decided, if we can help grassroots sports become more sustainable, naturally those things like resilience, ethical points about the gaming,
Mm-hmm.
fair gaming, fair play, and everything related really to character building is
Mhm.
more on the grassroots, not on the top. Sometimes it's even the opposite. On the top, many of the celebrities are not a good standard of citizenship. They are good standards in sports.
Right.
So we decided concentrating on the base of sports, on grassroots.
Wow, that's a very compelling argument, Nissan. Also, because, as a child, your brain is more adaptive to learning, right? And I think that is a major reason that why you guys are starting from grassroots. Hello, Canadian business leaders and sports enthusiasts. Are you passionate about supporting grassroots sports and empowering aspiring players? Learn from Nissan, CEO of Linksports, about how AI powered fan investment is changing the game and how you can contribute to a stronger Canada through sports. Now let's continue our conversation with Nissan. Investing in grassroots sports is, clearly it's an investment into the future of Canada's community and Canada's youth. Now let's dive into Linksports' unique approach combining micropayments with sports content and AI to empower analysis. Now, you guys offer, a truly innovative model that blends financial technology with sports content to empower aspiring players. How exactly do you guys do that?
Uh, Thank you for the question, Kripa. You're helping me a lot today, or whenever you're
Yeah.
watching this. It is the combination of technology that allows people to be visible,
Mm-hmm.
but that happens everywhere, in every platform, social platform like TikTok or
Mm-hmm.
Kawaii or Facebook, wherever you go, you have the projection of your talent. You
Right.
can show it, but nowhere else you can rank your capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So we created a set of 15 challenges that allow the player actually to show their talent. Now, the micropayment comes because when they are visible,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of fans that are watching that game and that are passionate about, for instance, football,
Mm-hmm.
they will also want to be part of the success of this young player.
Yes.
So what we are doing, which is really groundbreaking and innovative, is to connect the fans and allow them to sponsor thousands of players. So for the first time, sponsorship, instead of being a big Nike contract in which millions of dollars go to one person, we are trying to send $10, $20 a month to millions of people. That's the absurdly reverse of what we see. And that's what is innovative in combining micropayments with sports sponsorship.
Wow, that is truly revolutionary, Nissan. It democratizes access to sponsorship and enables direct engagement, for any player to connect for investments. All right, now, Nissan, Link Sports is, clearly pioneering a new model for athlete development and for engagement, leveraging fintech innovation. Now, let's turn to your entrepreneurial journey and the personal passion behind Link Sports. Your entrepreneurial journey is quite diverse, right? We discussed that. And Link Sports stems from a deep personal connection to football, right? So, how did your personal connection to football combined with your fintech and IT experience led to, starting Link Sports? And what does this reveal about passion and unexpected turns in entrepreneurship as a journey?
Uh, Kripa, when I got my first round of investors,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually in a dinner with my friends from Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
where I was born and
Yeah.
raised. And they all asked me, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I'm doing something that relates to the passion of my four boys, because they all love football."
Mm-hmm.
And they turned to me and said, "But you don't have a history of sports. We remember you in high school.
Right.
You were never playing football or didn't really look very interested."
Uh-huh.
And then I told them, guys, I've been around doing a lot of things and payment systems and blockchain and cryptocurrency.
Uh-huh.
I sold technology to Pizza Hut. And yes, I never
Wow.
did anything related to football.
Mhm.
But I ask you something. Do you know a guy called Travis Kalanick? And all my friends said, no, we never heard his name. I said, okay, Travis is the founder of Uber.
Mhm.
Now, if he was here,
Yeah.
would you ask him, Travis, were you a former taxi driver? And he would never ask because, well, you would think he has to be a specialist in taxi to disrupt taxi industry with Uber. No, he has to be a rider, a user of taxi. And most probably he wasn't happy. And he thought, What else can I do? So these ideas, Kripa, don't
Mhm.
come from the people in the industry because they are usually happy and making money with the way things are. It has to be some outsider that approaches that and says, what if instead of having millions of people just giving away, they start getting something from sports? They never thought before. So
True.
someone outside sports should do that. So that relates to my history of being disruptive, is looking at things out of the box.
Wow, I have no words. I'm truly amazed by this story, and that's very, wonderfully relatable and inspiring anecdote, Nissan, because we all keep trying to think out of the box, but you're the one who's actually done it. It truly highlights how personal passions, even ironic ones, can unexpectedly converge with professional expertise to create impactful businesses. Now, your entrepreneurial journey, also vividly illustrates how personal connections and unique perspective can fuel groundbreaking ventures. So, on that note, was there any personal push in your life that, kept you going towards sports, or was it just the entrepreneurial mindset behind it?
No, there was a push.
Mm-hmm.
I created systems that were loyalty systems. I created payment systems. I had experience with three or four previous startups, and I did a lot of mistakes, and that's how you learn.
Yeah.
But one of the things I decided is that the next time I create a startup, it has to have a global impact
Right.
on education
Mm-hmm.
and creating a little more fair dynamic in society, even if it's a small thing. I thought it should not replicate the injustice of the world.
Right.
So when you do regular sport things, you're going usually to replicate what the reality of society is.
Right.
But when you do something like Linksports and you created something that allows, as you said, democratization
Right.
of sponsorship or small sponsorship, you know you're going against the flow. You're doing something that creates more fairness and a little bit of justice to families that, for instance, in Brazil, I'll give you an example. There are
Mm-hmm.
families that the kids are now collecting $20, $30 a month.
Mm-hmm.
This is nothing. You can have thousands of people receiving this money. But since the family themselves don't make even 700 a month, that kid, out of his own striving and sacrifice and perseverance, in 5 or 6 months making that money, he will be able to buy a, a tennis shoe, a sports shoe,
Yeah.
or equipment that he would never get as a present from the parents because they couldn't even possibly give.
Right.
So that brings a little fairness based on sacrifice, on effort. Not, it's not a gift, it's a reward for
Right.
their perseverance. So I think that is how you can be disruptive. And answering more directly your question, why did I do this? Because I wanted to create a fintech with sports content because I wanted the new venture I create to have passion involved. And although maybe I didn't have passion for football, I saw billions of people that have, and I wanted the new venture to have passion ingrained in it. That's why I created Link Sports.
That's a very wholesome story, Nissan. And also, I completely agree with you. You don't know what those 20 or $30 that is literally nothing for you can mean the world to someone and literally can change their lives, right? So you just have to have that thought in your mind. It's just a mindset shift more than anything else. Now, coming back, let's take a look at the major upcoming event, the FIFA World Cup 2026 in Toronto. Nissan, with the FIFA World Cup 2026 set to arrive in Toronto, this presents a massive opportunity for Canada. What role do Canadian corporations, including the small and medium enterprises, play in preparing for this FIFA World Cup in Toronto? And how exactly can they leverage this opportunity to drive economic impact and showcase Canadian innovation?
Kripa, before answering you, I have to make a disclaimer. I don't speak on behalf of FIFA. I'm not related to FIFA. I've been to FIFA's headquarters. I talked to people there, but I'm not representing FIFA. But as a Canadian resident in Toronto,
Yeah.
everybody knows this is one of the hosting cities of the North American FIFA World Cup 2026 that
Mhm.
will be held in Mexico, the United States, and Canada. Now, I don't want to elaborate on politics, but we know where we stand in terms of relationship with our neighbor in the South. So I thought uh, every day Canadians will start listening something more about football, something that will even change the way Canadians call it.
Mhm.
I'm sure that after 1 year, people will call football football, and many people that used to call it soccer will start not and
Right.
shifting. Why? Because it will become ingrained in the communication channels.
Right.
More and more people will be talking about the FIFA Cup and football. There will be a huge opportunity. But what happens is that because we are not aware, as opposed to hockey and maybe basketball,
Right.
football is still a third tier,
Right.
let's say, element in our culture in Canada. So I think the sooner we find that this will shift in 1 year,
Mhm.
the better companies can be prepared to take the opportunity. Because by the time they listen every day something
Right.
about FIFA
Yeah.
and the World Cup, which by the way moves billions of people,
Yes.
and it's the most international game ever. So by the time the small enterprise owners,
Mhm.
the small companies, the medium companies start listening at CBC radio,
Right.
start listening on TV, it's a little late. It's
Yes.
going to be in 6 months or 10 months. So I'm just reminding them that because small businesses have to be agile,
Right.
because they have to perceive the reality around them, they have to be aware that this is the time for you to start relating yourself somehow, not even if you won't be a sponsor of FIFA, these are for
Right.
huge companies, but you can start sponsoring a small football school, you can start helping boys and girls to have training,
Right.
you can associate your brand to the sports.
Mhm.
Because although FIFA is the owner of the tournament, FIFA is not the owner of the sports. So you can become a small co owner of a small group of people that love to play. And that will help that group of young people, as you said, when you're young,
Right.
that makes the difference.
Yes.
And when you are sponsoring a small team of young players, you can make a difference. So I'm just warning, and I think this is the best channel to be saying that small and medium corporations in Canada, right now, 1 year before, should be aware that they have a few months to be ahead of everyone else and start having their brand associated to football. Because if they wait, it's going to be too late and too expensive.
That's a very powerful call to action, Nissan, emphasizing the immense economic and promotional potential of hosting, such a globally significant event. So thank you so much for sharing that expertise with our listeners. Now, Nissan, imagine if I were to give you a time machine right now and say you were to travel 5 or 10 years into the future. When you get off the time machine, how do you envision Link Sports? What do you see?
Oh, what a delightful question to answer. We are already in 29 countries. We are a small company,
Hmm.
and I think this channel praises the fact that by being small, there's nothing against you. But I think small entrepreneurs should have large views
Hmm.
and vision of a global relevance.
Hmm.
We are not still global, but we are in 29 countries. Our 30 force people that work mostly as volunteers speak 7 languages. We are planning to have groups in many countries, but already in Brazil, we have over 1,300 cities that have children or adults
Hmm.
or young adults
Hmm.
playing and being measured by our system. And not only that, we have committees that are studying the deployment in different sports. So we are launching very soon the basketball application.
Hmm.
My dream in 5 years that the committee that is working today on cricket
Hmm.
will have a cricket app running in India and in South Africa and in the UK in the next 2 or 3 years. And I am also dreaming that our relevance in terms of impact will reach over 1 million young players. Then I will be happy, because that day when we are large, we'll have uh, conversations with brands like Nike or Puma or Adidas, and we'll be probably convincing them, listen, you have a $300 million budget for sponsorship. That's fine. Give 299 million to 10 people, but give this 1 million so we can help 1 million boys and girls to receive $1 a month. That's what we want to be doing in 5 years. That's my dream.
That's very well articulated, and you've painted quite a picture there, Nissan. The future looks very promising. I'm loving this conversation, and I don't want this to come to an end, but that's okay because we're going to get Nissan again for another episode of Endless Conversations. Before we let you go, Nissan, if there's one piece of core message that you would like to give to our Canadian SME listeners about contributing to community and growth through unique business ventures, what would you say?
I respect entrepreneurship very much. I think we carry in our lives the impact of learning what the consumer wants. No matter if you have a small pizza shop,
Yeah.
no matter if you have a service oriented company, if you're a masseuist, if you're whatever your business is, you're constantly thinking how to serve your consumer. Serving mankind is a noble thing, but learning what they want is a skill. And I think what connects small entrepreneurs is that they have to learn everything. They have to learn legal aspects, tax aspects. They have to be marketing people. They have to be accountants, everything together. This gives us an opportunity to be holistic and view the whole. And I think the opportunity we have ahead of us in Canada at this time with the political situation has only one way out, which is called growth. Think about growth. Think about growth from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to sleep. And some of us don't even sleep because we're worried we're paying bills. Think about growth. This is what is my message to Canadian entrepreneurs of small and medium companies.
That's lovely, Nissan, and definitely now is the time for Canada. On that note, Nissan, thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. It was an absolute pleasure having you,
It was
and
a
this was a
pleasure.
very enlightening conversation.
Thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me, for giving me the time to share, and for having such great time with you. Thank you, Kripa.
All right, that was an insightful conversation with Neissan Monadjem, founder and CEO of Linksports, on sports as a tool for character and resilience, supporting grassroots sports in Canada, Linksports' innovative fan investment model, and the role of Canadian corporations in preparing for the FIFA World Cup 2026. Thank you so much to all the listeners for tuning in to the Canadian SME Small Business Podcast. We really appreciate your continued support. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more expert insights and resources that can help your business thrive. You can also visit our website, CanadianSME.ca. And lastly, a very special thank you to our podcast partners, RBC, UPS, A1 Global College, ADP, and Google for their ongoing commitment to empowering SMEs in Canada. Until next time, keep innovating and striving for success, and we'll see you in the next episode. Kripa Anand signing off.